What if one of the most beautiful animals on Earth was so tiny you could fit several of them on a single grain of rice? Imagine diving into the ocean. You're surrounded by waves, coral, fish, and endless shades of blue. And hidden somewhere beneath you is a creature so small that most people would swim right past it without ever knowing it exists. Yet, this tiny animal has just stunned scientists. It's covered in perfect yellow and black spots, looks like a living piece of art. And until recently, nobody even knew it existed. Meet one of the newest species discovered on Earth, a microscopic sea slug called Thecacera sesama. And its story proves that some of nature's biggest surprises come in the smallest packages. The creature that almost went unnoticed. At first glance, it doesn't seem possible. This newly discovered sea slug measures less than 3 millimeters long. That's about the size of a grain of rice, or smaller than many sesame seeds. In fact, it's so tiny that spotting one underwater is like finding a single grain of sand on an entire beach. But despite its size, it's absolutely stunning. The slug has a translucent white body decorated with black spots and bright yellow markings that look almost hand-painted. Its tiny body appears sprinkled with sesame seeds, and that's exactly where its name comes from. Scientists named it Thecacera sesama, after the Latin word for sesame, because of the small, rounded spots scattered across its body. It's adorable, it's beautiful, and for years it remained completely hidden from science. The discovery that started with a photo. Remember, this animal is less than 3 millimeters long. Most divers could swim directly over one and never see it, but the challenge became even harder because of where it lives. Taiwan's northeastern coastline is one of the toughest places for marine research. The region experiences powerful waves, frequent typhoons, strong currents, and cold seasonal temperatures. In fact, researchers can only safely study the area for a few months each year. For much of the year, diving is simply too dangerous. Yet, despite these challenges, scientists returned again and again. Between 2021 and 2025, they conducted multiple expeditions searching for more specimens, and eventually, they found enough evidence to prove the tiny slug was something entirely new. The DNA test that confirmed everything. Finding a strange-looking animal isn't enough to declare a new species. Scientists need proof. So researchers collected specimens and analyzed their DNA. They compared the genetic information with known species from around the world. Then they examined body structures, color patterns, and anatomy. The results were clear. This wasn't a variation of an existing species. It was a completely new member of the genus Thecacera, one never before recorded by science. And with that discovery, the total number of known species in the genus increased. A tiny sea slug had officially earned its place in the scientific record. Its secret life underwater. What makes this discovery even more fascinating is that researchers didn't just find the animal, they actually watched it live its life. Researchers observed the slug searching for food, feeding, mating, and even laying eggs. That's incredibly rare for newly discovered species. Many animals are described scientifically before anyone fully understands their behavior. But researchers were able to witness almost every stage of this tiny creature's life. And what they discovered raised even more questions. A picky eater with a possible secret. Like many nudibranchs, Thecacera sesama appears to be a specialist. It doesn't seem interested in eating just anything. Researchers observed it feeding on a specific type of bryozoan. Tiny colonial animals often called moss animals. What's remarkable is that the slug appeared to focus almost exclusively on this single food source. And here's the twist. Scientists now suspect that the bryozoan itself may also be a species unknown to science. Think about that. While searching for one new species, researchers may have accidentally uncovered another, which means there could be an entire hidden ecosystem waiting to be discovered. How many creatures are still waiting to be found? This discovery highlights something incredible. Even in 2026, humans still haven't cataloged all life on Earth. We often imagine new species as giant creatures lurking in unexplored jungles, but many discoveries happen on a much smaller scale. Tiny organisms, hidden insects, microscopic marine animals, creatures so small they're practically invisible. Scientists believe countless species are still waiting to be discovered throughout the Western Pacific Ocean, and many may be just as colorful, just as strange, and just as beautiful as Thecacera sesama. They're simply hiding where few people think to look.